This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is The Ramsey Show, and it's where America's hanging out to have a conversation about your life. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined by my colleague, Ramsey personality, George Camel. The phone number to jump in on the conversation today is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. I will dive in on your work questions. You want to get a bigger shovel. Ken, I want to get promoted. How do I make more money so I could speed up the baby steps? I'm your guy. I'll help you get a bigger shovel. Some of you are going, Ken, I just need help because I don't enjoy what I do. I'm on my way. I'm paying off debt. I'm wanting to know, can I work the baby steps, but also take steps towards doing work that I really, really love, pursuing the dream? Is that possible? The answer is yes. We'll take on your specific situation. And of course, George is here, our money guru. He's going to help you with your money questions as well. And so it may be the day for some of you to call in and go, you know what? I need to call. I'm nervous about calling. We will change your name and your location. We understand that these questions many times are very, very sensitive, George, and we have no problem changing your name and location so that you feel confident to call in and get some help. So we are here standing by, 888-825-5225. Got some fun stuff we're going to cover today. George, you doing well?
I'm doing fantastic, Ken.
Yeah.
You just had the Minimalists on your show. So
Yeah.
That must have been a good time.
Good time. And I must say, for those that will see you on YouTube today, this shirt is very interesting. I don't find that you are much of a football fan from what I know of you, and yet you have miniature, classic, old football players and footballs all over your shirt today.
I think it's irony, and I find humor in irony.
So you bought it because you thought this will be a funny shirt to wear?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You ever do that?
No.
Okay, just me.
Yeah, I don't try to be funny, but I like what you're doing there. It's a great shirt.
It's football season. There's probably a big game somewhere this weekend. So I
see. You sat back and I see that you've got a grill
There's
on
grills.
your pocket.
It's just football culture. Grilling
Everything
out.
football.
Yeah.
All right. And George just learned recently what football is, so that makes it even more
This is
fun.
why you've got to watch the show.
Yeah.
You get to see things like this.
That's exactly right. In an HD, maybe we'll have the guys zoom in on your shirt later in the program, and we'll do a full diagram and breakdown. But let's get to the phones. That's why we're here to help you. It is your show. We're going to start off with Marcia, who joins us in Atlanta, Georgia. Marcia, how can we help?
Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
My husband and I have been working the Ramsey plan about 2 years ago, and we sold our home and we paid off over $140,000 worth of credit card bills.
Wow.
$140,000 in credit card bills.
Yes, my husband was, I guess he was just caught up in trying to get extra cards to pay, and transfer balances, and just got caught up in a lot of credit card debt.
What was he buying?
Well, we were, you could call it living the vida loca.
Living la vida. That's great.
I love this. But you know what matters, Marcia, is that you guys got on the same page and paid this off. That's unbelievable.
Yes, we did.
That's great.
Now, we are in a situation that I really need some help with. We have over $300,000 worth of student loans between myself and him. And we have 5 investment properties. 3 we own outright, and 2 we have a mortgage on. And, we're thinking, should we sell the investment properties to just get the student loan out of our lives? That's the only debt that we have now. Or should we continue to rent these properties and just use our income to pay off the student loans?
What is your household income?
Our household income is about $200,000.
Okay. Great income there. and you've got $300,000 in student loans, making $200,000. I mean, if you wanted to get intense, you can just use your income and pay off these student loans. Now, if I'm in your shoes and I've got 5 rental properties, 2 of them having a mortgage on them, I want you to be completely debt-free as soon as possible. So if I'm you, I'm selling 1 or 2 of those mortgage properties to pay off these loans. What are these properties worth?
Well, they're both worth about $200,000, but we paid dirt cheap for them, like $20,000. So, the mortgage property. Sorry, the mortgage property probably about $250,000, and one is worth $200,000.
And what do you owe? What do you owe on each?
On the one that's worth $200,000, we owe $68,000 on that one.
Okay.
And the other one we owe $123,000.
Wow.
Well, there's your answer.
I'm hearing if you sell the 2 with the mortgage on them, you could pretty much be debt-free, like tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and you still have 3 paid-for properties.
Right.
I'd put a sign in the yard of both of those 2 that you have a mortgage on today.
That is good. Yes, that's what I was thinking. That's what I thought you all would say.
Well, you are thinking properly.
Glad we could give you some confirmation there. Well, you guys have done really well on that side. I think you were just doing some things out of order. And now once you pay off these student loans, you've got 3 paid-for properties. You're going to really build some wealth. And my take is that you're going to buy your next properties with cash.
Most definitely. That's what we're thinking. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, you guys have done really well. We're cheering for you. Get rid of these properties. Get rid of these student loans.
Way to go, Marcia. And you know what's great? You can hear the husband in the background. Like, they're all in.
Yeah.
And you know what I really loved about that call when we first, started talking to her and you asked, what was the debt? They paid off like $140,000
in credit card debt.
And you were like, what was it? And she was like, my husband. And it was so sweet in that he was completely off the reservation. And somewhere in that story, we didn't get it, they got on the same page.
Yeah.
And paid off $140,000 worth of credit card debt. And now look at them.
It was clear they're willing to do whatever it takes. Yeah, even though they've made some mistakes, they're owning up and going, we don't want to live this way anymore. We're done living La Vida Loca.
Oh, yeah, that was great. That was the line of the day.
America needs to decide. We're done. Living La Vida Loca. It's smoke and mirrors. It's a house of cards.
Yeah. You know what? I'm embarrassed to say I don't actually know what that means.
Okay, Ken. I'm of the age. Yes.
You
are bilingual. A very popular Ricky Martin song back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I now remember. I am embarrassed to say I forgot. It felt familiar to me, but I was like, I can't place it.
I'm wanting to sing it on air, but I think the FCC might shut us down.
Oh, we don't want to do that.
I won't.
All the licensing.
For a lot of reasons.
What does it mean, though?
It means living the crazy life.
Thank you very much.
Living the good life,
I didn't know. They're laughing at me in the control room. I don't mind. Okay?
I just taught you some Spanish, Ken. I feel pretty good.
I feel a little bit more valuable now.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Well, I would take offense to that, but compared to you, George, I am the old dog, and I might as well just own it. Hey, folks, we're just getting started. We're here to help you on your money questions. You want to get a bigger shovel. You want more out of your life and work. George and I are here together, teaming up to help you. Somebody needs to call 888-825-5225. Don't move. More of your calls and more of the Ramsey Show coming right up. If you're ready to get out there and find a job you love, then you need to hear this. Job hunting can be stressful and time-consuming, but my friends at ZipRecruiter have made the whole job search way easier. ZipRecruiter is rated the #1 job site in the U.S. by G2, and it's free. So how does it work? First, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Then create a free profile and let their technology do the hard work by finding and sending you jobs that are a great fit. And get this, ZipRecruiter pitches your profile to companies whose jobs match your skills and experience. If someone from that company likes your profile, they can personally invite you to apply for the job. So if you're ready for an easier job search, check out ZipRecruiter. Sign up for free right now at ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Sign up today absolutely free and let ZipRecruiter work for you. Welcome back, America. You have joined the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, George Camel. We're taking you through this hour. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Boy, I'm going to take a stab at this one. I like to say that I'm hooked on phonics, George, and I'm looking at the board. I'm going to go, it's Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We'll see. Ken joins us there.
Eau Claire.
Eau Claire. Oh, I blew it, Ken. I'm so sorry. How can we help?
Hi, my name is Ken.
Yeah, it's a good name.
It is a cool name. Hey, I've been an artist my whole life. I've made excellent money. I've actually paid off my mortgage 10 years ago.
Wow.
With the sales of art. But ever since then, life kind of took a real deep turn, and I've been underemployed. And it's all I needed to hear was your philosophy, and I've agreed with that my whole life. But I've been doing things like moving dirt, hauling gravel, driving truck. Right now, I'm way underemployed, and I can't do anything other than pay my bills. But marketing, I've got a website with my artwork. Nothing has ever happened with it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to market my artwork to get people to see it.
Yeah. Tell me about the artwork. What kind of art is it?
Well, it's wildlife landscape realism.
Okay. Forgive me. Painting, I'm assuming?
Yeah, painting. Yeah,
okay.
Correct.
Have you ever sold one painting?
Boy, did I ever. I got a huge corporation out of Chicago. They're the ones that have paid my mortgage. They helped me add on 20 years ago. I've been selling to them, and they have given me like over $100,000 in my life.
So you were going through a broker, essentially?
No, just I went to the fairs, and I went to the fairs, brought me to galleries, and then the galleries had customers come in, and then I had personal contacts. They wanted to meet me personally. And
so wait a second, Ken. Wait a second. Wait. Let me make sure I heard you properly. 20 plus years ago, you made really good money selling the very paintings that right now you're having a hard time selling. And George just said, well, what'd you do? And you just listed it off. You rattled it off so fast, I couldn't write it down.
Sorry.
No.
I didn't.
Ken, you've done this before. What am I missing?
I guess trust that one customer cannot pay my whole life's income.
Yeah, but
I guess
my point is, Ken,
what it is.
Ken, have you had success selling paintings? That's where I was going. I had no idea you had that kind of success. I'm blown away. So answer the question. Have you had success selling paintings before?
I have, yes.
And you had a
personal contact.
There you go. You know what it is? You got to get back out there again. I don't know what the actual fear or doubt is, but that's the issue. The issue is, what is the fear? What is the doubt? And I mean specific voice you're wrestling with right now. I want to know, because that's what's holding you back.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's one I've been asking all my life.
Yeah, but I'm not going to let you off the hook. I'm not going to let you off the hook because I think you know.
Good.
I want you to own
Lay
it.
into me.
Own it.
Lay into me.
Well, I am. I'm trying. Tell me, what are you most afraid of? What do you doubt the most?
That it's not going to be a steady stream.
Okay. Let's dive into that. Okay, let's dive into that. Maybe it won't be a steady stream at first, maybe it'll take a few years to get it to a steady stream. Maybe that stream won't be enough to fully take care of your needs. But is that really the issue? Because you can do other work that'll keep you going. You're doing it right now. So what are you really afraid of? You afraid that it was a whim, that it was a chance, that one massive corporation liked your stuff and they paid you well for it? No one else on the planet's going to like your stuff. And because you've done a crappy job at marketing your art on the web, don't judge yourself by that. That's not how you got success the first time around. Feels like to me you got to dust off the old plan, and that was good old-fashioned hustle. Shoe leather to pavement, Ken. And you've got a track record.
Yeah, I need ideas, I guess. I just need ideas.
Okay.
Other than being a blogger, I've been going through this stuff. It's so much crap on the internet. You try to look up this information, and
but here's my
everybody wants
point.
you to be a blogger. And,
I know, but Ken, you're still missing it. I don't think blogging is the answer. I think you getting back out and showing your work again. I think for some reason. Go ahead.
Are you saying start over like the art fairs again?
Yes. Who's buying art? Where are they? That's where you got to go. You're trying to do it online.
I didn't do very good with the art fairs because it was marketing. I didn't learn. It was like a marketing lesson to me. I came there with $4,000 items at a $200 show.
All right, I understand, but here's the deal. I'm trying to simplify this for you because I am not an expert in the art market, but what I am good at doing is simplifying the complex. And you are facing right now what feels like a very complex problem. I'm simplifying it for you. And you don't have to answer this right now on the air, but this is your homework assignment. Who is buying $4,000 pieces of art? Who is buying $4,000 and higher dollar pieces of art that are in your particular style? Forgive me if that's the wrong way to say it, but you get my point. Where are they? George, you brought up the broker issue. Who's out there helping sell those things? This is good old-fashioned research. There's a market for it. And Ken, I think the most important thing is for you to remember that you've made a lot of money selling art before. This is not a pipe dream for you. This isn't some willy-nilly crazy notion. You just got to get hustling again and be willing to deal with rejection. That's what's going on, George. I'm telling you right now, you're going to hear some no's, but you're going to have to step into those no's to be able to get some yeses. And you're so worried that you got the only yes that you could ever get that it's clouding your judgment.
Yeah, there are so many people out there, Ken, who want to buy really great artwork at that price point. So if I'm you, I'm going to find every avenue and try it and see what works. Go to your local coffee shop and say, hey, can I hang my painting in here for free? I'll let you guys have it in here for free if you'll just put my information underneath it. Hey, I'm going to go on TikTok and show people the behind the scenes of how I do my artwork and get people excited about it and show them how much work I put into this. Maybe you start an Instagram and try there because that's a great visual social media place where people are already hanging out. And you start using some hashtags. There are so many avenues to learn about marketing through YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever, where you can really start to test out where are these people at who really appreciate what I do.
How about walking into a local art gallery, talking to the owner and going, hey, here's my background. 20 years ago, I did this many pieces of art for this company. That's impressive. That's credible. And then go, hey, can I show you a couple of pieces? I got it in the truck. And I want to start putting my stuff back out. What kind of deal do you want? If you sell it, what do you want for it? The answer is whatever. Whatever they say yes. You got to start showing your work and get it back out there again. But I can tell you right now that the fear of rejection and the fear of failure are hanging out on both of Ken's shoulders right now.
Yeah.
And it has clouded his ability to see that he was successful before. He can be successful again.
He thought it was my one. I did it back then. I'll never do it again. It was a stroke of luck.
Yeah. I've heard Dave say this before, that, making the second million is easier. Mm-hmm. There's a reason for that. You got some history. Inside of that history is some skill. Inside of that history is some experience. And when we embrace that and go, wait, I've done this before. I'm not starting from scratch. It's not this new thing. I know I can do this. Then all of a sudden, confidence emerges. And I think, Ken, the name of your game is confidence. You got to get your confidence back up. Put yourself out there. It's worth it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't do this second time around, you're going to get to the end of your journey and be sick with regret. Don't regret. Reminisce. Go after it. Put your work out there. You got this. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back, America. You are joining The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, George Camel. We're taking your calls this hour, 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. And we're now going to go to Victorville, California, where I see on the screen Stefan and Lisa are on the line, George. And I'm told you guys are on the line to do a debt-free scream?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you so much.
You bet. All right, let's get to the story. How much debt did you pay off?
We paid off over $124,000.
Wow, $124,000. Okay. And how long did it take?
That took 4 years of really just hitting it every single paycheck.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of money. That's unbelievable. Tell us your range of income during that time.
From that time that we started, we were about $150,000 and then ended up at about $250,000.
Whoa! Okay, we can't go any further. I got to know what led to the $100,000 in increase.
My wife got a promotion to be a principal, so.
Oh, nice. Very nice. By the way, I like what happened there, George. You know, Lisa was like, I'm going to let you tell him.
Yep.
Way to go, Lisa. How does that feel?
Oh, it felt good. Thank you.
That's impressive. All right. So tell us what this debt was. What made up this $124,000?
That was student loans that I had accrued, bachelor's degree, master's degree, my PhD. I just kind of racked it up.
Okay. All right. Very good.
And then we had a car loan as well that we were able to pay off.
All right. Okay. So pretty normal stuff there. So
Right.
Take us to 4 years ago when you guys start this journey. What led to this?
I think we had done the Financial Peace University early in our marriage, and so we knew the steps and we knew what we needed to do to make it happen.
Okay. And so what was you kind of knew, but was there a moment where you went, we've had enough? I mean, what led to this? Because we're talking about intense, $124,000 over 4 years.
I think finally seeing that the student loan was actually due, so it made like an impetus that we had to start really attacking it. So it made it our number one goal was to pay as much as possible every month and just attack it,
So you got sick of giving a chunk of money away every month, and you went, we don't need to do this anymore. We make good money. We want to live life on our terms and have this money back in our life, attacking our goals.
Exactly.
I love it. So what did you guys actually do? What were the sacrifices you made along the way?
The sacrifices were things like cutting back on the big vacations and thinking about refinancing where we could with our mortgage and getting better rates there so that we would have a better monthly mortgage payment. And just, following the gazelle intensity of paying it down and communicating and knowing that this was our combined goal to get this out of the way.
Wow.
So you reallocated a lot of this money that could have gone to a lot of places, and you said, nope, it's got an assignment.
Definitely.
It's going to this debt.
What was?
Definitely.
Is there something that sticks out to you all as maybe one of the toughest things you had to deal with? It was really, really tough. Maybe it was along the way, and you felt like, well, we're hitting a lull. Well, what was a real challenge for you on this journey?
I think in the middle, it just got kind of hard because you didn't see that much of an improvement. You still that insurmountable mountain you're climbing, but then you just have to keep, put your head down and just keep moving and trust the process.
So what do you think the key was?
The last loan.
For another couple out there who may be where you guys are at, 6 figures in debt, going, well, we're just going to pay this thing off for 20 years. What would you tell that couple the key is to getting out of debt?
Right, absolutely.
What was the key?
The key was just trying to do right, living like no one else so that we could live like no one else.
So you had to change your mindset and go, we've got to live differently right now so we can live differently later.
So who were your biggest cheerleaders on this journey, walking you through this, like that middle period, Stefan, that you just mentioned that was so difficult? We didn't feel like you were making so much progress. Who helped keep you in the game?
I think we could say our church family that, started us on FPU so many years ago, and then we were leaders at one point, and just being that example too. We can talk it, but we had to live it as well.
Walk the talk.
Yeah.
That's been a theme this year.
Yeah, really has.
Definitely.
So George asked you kind of what the key is, but as you guys sit here today, you're about ready to do this scream. How would you encourage others that are listening? Because at some point you all listen to other people do what you're about to do. What would you say to them if they feel like they're in this lull or they don't know if they can do it? What's your advice to them?
Just keep grinding. It looks insurmountable, but one step at a time, and you'll get through it.
And find that the extra side things that you can contribute to make it a little bit easier. Like Stefan said, it's in the middle, it's still monotonous, and you're looking at the shiny things that you could be spending your money on, and you have to just deflect to what you know would be the right choice.
Yeah. Wow. Well, let me tell you something. You all, you're an inspiration. You're heroes. You've done something that is very, very difficult to do. You've shared that story, and you stuck together, and now you're on the other side of it. What does it feel like?
Such a relief. Such a relief. Absolutely.
Yeah, you've heard Dave talk about the grass feeling different. Is that true? What feels different specifically as you guys walk through your everyday life?
I think not having to worry about extra debt, extra payments we have to make. Now it's savings and different other projects we can do, and we can save for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I see a picture here, 2 kiddos. Tell us about the kids and their ages, because we know they're going to benefit from this unbelievable sacrifice that you've made.
Absolutely. We have Ryan, our son, he's now 7, and Elizabeth is now 4, and they're learning the system. They know that if they don't have the cash, we're not going to give them a card.
Wow. They should run for Congress.
Oh,
Very
hey,
impressive.
that'd be great.
Very nice, George. Very nice.
That's impressive.
I like that.
Changing a family tree.
Hey, Stefan and Lisa, we want to gift you with 2 books to thank you for sharing your story, but also for you all to keep moving forward. The first is Dave's book, The Legacy Journey, because that really is the next step for you all on your journey. You really are living and giving like no one else. The second is we want to give you a copy of Dave's wildly popular best-selling book, Total Money Makeover, and that is a gift for you all to give to somebody else who you can now say, hey, this works, and we want you to be able to pay that forward in their life as well. So we want to give you those.
Awesome.
So we'll send those out to you. All right, let's do this. Stefan and Lisa from Victorville, California, they paid off $124,000 in 4 years, making $150,000, then up to $250,000. Stefan and Lisa, take it away. Let's hear your debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
All right, there it is. Another couple. Debt-free.
Another student loan bites the dust.
There it is. A whole bunch of it, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big chunk of what they paid off.
That's a chunk of the $1.6 trillion sitting out there.
Oh, man. Man, oh man. And, it's great when you hear the stories, but you realize that there's kids involved.
Yeah.
And these kids are learning to not ever fall into that same trap their mom and dad did. But you think about the life that those kids are going to lead as a result of what their mom and dad did. I mean, this really is legacy. And I love that we give them a copy of the Legacy Journey, because that's what this whole thing is about, George.
Yeah. You've got to teach these kids this stuff early on, and these kids caught it. It wasn't just taught. They saw mom and dad sacrifice along the way, and I doubt they're ever going to touch debt after hearing this story, Ken.
No. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Thank you again, Stephen and Lisa. You are heroes. Thank you for sharing your story. Countless people will be inspired to do what you did. So thank you again very much. He is George Kamel. I'm Ken Coleman. You're listening to The Ramsey Show. Welcome back, America. You are joining the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. If you've been paying attention to any news, you've probably heard the term the Great Resignation flying around. And it's the big name that people are kind of putting on this massive job turnover situation going on in this country. People are saying, hey, I don't like where I am. I want to level up. I want more out of my work. And so they're leaving and looking for something better. Now, you may feel like now's the right time for you as well. But if you don't have a clue what you actually want to do, then you may not even actually get what you want and move to something that's going to be better for you in the long term. You need a plan. And you're right. Work isn't supposed to be a four-letter word. You can find work that will leave you feeling energized and fulfilled. You can make the income and the impact you want out of the same gig. And that's why I wrote my brand new book that reveals to you the clear path to finding and doing work you love. From Paycheck to Purpose, we'll walk you through the proven plan that has helped thousands of people find their dream job. And when you pre-order the book today, we'll also send you over $100 in free bonus tools like resume templates, guides, a video course on how to get hired and beat the competition. All of that is going to add value to you on this journey. So get your copy of From Paycheck to Purpose today at RamseySolutions.com. That's RamseySolutions.com. The book is From Paycheck to Purpose. 888-825-5225 is the number. Let's go to Azure in Dallas, Texas. How can we help?
Hi, it's wonderful to talk to you. Thank you. I have a small counseling practice up in North Texas, and I am looking to relocate to East Texas in about a year and a half. And I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to transfer it. Do I sell it and just restart, or move it down there?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. My question is have you looked into what the details could look like if you were to sell the practice? Meaning, is there any interest? Who would you approach to see if there is interest? Where are you on that option?
Sure. So I have two other therapists that have contracted with me. They work underneath me. And one of them is a good possibility of possibly wanting to purchase it. And she's up and coming, and she's dynamite. So she would be a good option. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that she would definitely be able to do it in a year and a half.
Yeah. Well, and so when you talk about a counseling practice, I mean, are you doing much, I don't want to call it telecounseling, but I mean, are you doing much Zoom stuff, or is now everything kind of resumed back to in-person for you?
I do a lot of both, actually, and it's been a really good option. And having the Zoom option has been a really great deal for my clients. And I probably care about 20% of my clients online, and the other 80% are in person. Yeah,
I'm going to throw another option at you. I'm sure you've thought of it, but I just am curious. Why wouldn't you, if you're just simply moving from one part of Texas to the other, and you already are doing 20% of your counseling online, if you will, why wouldn't you keep the practice where it is and just open up another office where you are?
I have considered that, and my concern is that I wouldn't have enough of a client base to get the revenue that I need to maintain and to pay for another office space. If that makes sense, like in the interim, until I build up another client base in the new location, would it be enough? But yes, and I have thought about continuing with some of my current clients online. I just know that the majority of them don't want to do online, and
Right.
they probably would fall off
Right.
if I moved.
Okay, and
So,
I get that.
Start.
Yeah, but see, here's the issue. When you're selling a counseling business, what are you really selling? I'm guessing you don't own your building. Is that fair?
That's true. I rent office space.
Yeah. So what are you selling? In your mind, I want you to answer that.
So I incorporated. I have a PLLC, and I have software that is set up specifically for this practice.
Okay.
People know where it is, and they're familiar with the name of the practice. But it's primarily North Texas. Nobody in East Texas has ever heard of me.
Right, exactly. So my point is if you move to a different part of Texas and only 20% of your clients want to continue to do online, that means 80% of your clientele has to choose. Are they going to keep coming to this practice even though they're not seeing you? They're not going to have to choose to see the other two counselors, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, so I guess my point is you've got a challenge in that the person who's interested in buying it isn't going to be able to buy it when you want to move. And so I think in this situation, I would probably, if you can't get somebody else to buy that software, and then, what else are they buying? I just think it's a hard purchase to sell. I think that's a hard sell. And so I think I would just wrap it up and I would move on. That's what I would do. But if you could sell it, great, sell it. But I think that's going to be difficult. So I think that you may just end up having to shut it down and then reopen where you move.
That makes good sense. I appreciate the insight.
Yeah,
I do.
you bet. You bet. Thanks for the call. And, George, it's very interesting in this world we live in now, because of the quality of video conferencing, doctors were doing telemedicine that way. Certainly, I think counseling is a very intimate setting, but it is possible to do that kind of work now.
Yeah.
That way, if you can do it, if you can get clients to do it. So
I like the idea of her not letting go of this quite yet and starting small in her new area and starting to build that up over time. Yeah. And maybe by then there's a buyer or one of her counselors are able to purchase it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to Mitchell now in Chattanooga, Tennessee, not too far from us here in the Nashville area. Mitchell, how can we help?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. So a few months back, I used Ken's principles and got a new career, and that got me out of debt.
Oh, I like hearing that.
There we go.
Yeah, so now I can actually start contributing to the company match 401k since I'm out of baby step 3, and they have a 6% match. So my question is, with Dave's 15% going into retirement, would I do 6% match and then 9% outside of that, or 6% there and then 15% outside of that?
That's a great question. And in these instances, when you've got a company match, we look at that as icing on the cake. So I still want you investing 15% of your income into that 401k. And if there's a Roth option, that's even better. And then take that 6% match as a bonus. But no, it's not going to be a 6 and a 9 on your part. I want you to invest still the full 15%. Your job could change, your life could change, the company numbers could change, the benefits could change, but I want you consistently investing 15%.
Okay, and would I do the 15% in the company match on top of the 6, or would I go through an ELP and just do it separately from the company match?
No, they have a 401k, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so what you want to do there is you'd go up to the match, that's 6%. Then you can open up a Roth IRA if you don't have one already, and you can work with a SmartVestor Pro, like you mentioned there, to get that open. And you want to max that out. The limit is $6,000 for most people this year. And then you go back to the 401k, and you can dump money into there. And if it's not a Roth option. I assume there is no Roth option there?
No, it's the target date option as far as I know. It's the traditional 401k.
Okay. If it's traditional, then that's what you do is go to the Roth, then back to the 401k, and finish out your 15%.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, you guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
What a success story.
I love it. Guys got him a new career. But by the way, that's the bigger shovel.
Yeah.
Right there. If we can help at Ramsey Solutions through the Ken Coleman Show and the resources we've created to get that bigger shovel, let's go. Because that's an example. Mitchell got a better gig, got promoted, and got out of debt. And now he's calling you for investing questions. I mean, this is what it's about here.
This is the sweet spot when it comes to what we do here, Ken, is when you can intertwine the career side, the purpose side, with the money side, and you realize they actually work hand in hand.
They do. I mean, have you ever heard a debt-free scream? I've not. Have you ever heard one where they didn't make at least some more money? I mean, just some.
Not in
many
recent
times
memory.
It's substantial where they make more money.
Yeah.
So making more money is a big part of getting out of debt. George and I will take those calls.
I love to hear it.
I want to thank our producer, James Childs, our associate producer and call screener, Kelly Daniel. I want to thank you, George. Thanks for hanging with me. We want to thank you, America, for listening because we do it for you. This is your show. It is The Ramsey Show.
Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is The Ramsey Show, and it's where America hangs out. To have a conversation about your life, your money, your work. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, George Campbell. The phone number to jump in is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Okay, so, George, I got to get you to weigh in.
Okay.
On something I saw in the news.
I don't weigh much, but I'll try.
Well
You
played.
like that?
That's well played, sir. Okay, so here's the headline. I believe this is Wall Street Journal. Yeah. Millennials team up to fulfill the dream of home ownership. Burdened by debt and facing soaring home prices, first-time home buyers are pooling their finances with partners, friends, or roommates. What? George.
This is frightening.
Say it isn't so.
It is so. Wall Street Journal is pretty reputable.
Yes.
And here's the thing. It says the number of co-buyers with different last names increased by 771% between 2014 and 2021.
So this isn't just a 2021 phenomenon.
It's
this
just been
has been
climbing.
kind of happening.
And what's happening is millennials are strapped with student loan payments and all kinds of other payments, and they can't afford home ownership. And they're going, well, inflation, and I live in a high cost of living area. And so what do, Ken? You call up your buddy and say, hey, rent is real expensive. What if we went in on this and we became homeowners together?
Okay, now let's talk about the nuances there. It's not a spousal situation where you both have the same last name.
No.
And as we teach, shared assets and all that stuff, shared bank accounts. These are two completely different individuals. So two of my favorite fake names to use in these scenarios is Bob and Larry. So let's say
Sound like
which, by
people
the way,
who would do this.
No millennials on the planet are named Bob and Larry.
Parents don't name their kids that anymore.
They don't.
Maybe Robert.
Okay. So let's go with Robert and Randolph.
Perfect.
And Robert and Randolph are buddies, and they go, okay, well, let's go do this. And so they buy a house together. What's that look like? They're both on the loan?
Yes, it's called a joint tenancy or tenancy in common.
Okay.
And so it happens, and it's just two buddies, friends. They don't have any marital connection, and they just want to own a home. And so you legally, it's possible. It's not an illegal thing to do. It's totally fine to do, but it's a very dangerous move.
Why is it dangerous?
Well, home ownership is a big deal.
Yeah.
And when you got your name on the title of that home, and then you got to go, okay, well, who's going to hire the handyman? Who's going to handle the mortgage payments? What if one moves away? What if one gets married? And so what happens is there can be a lot of hairy stuff in that relationship that goes down.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you're stuck.
I said, well, Robert meets a gal. Falls in
I want
love.
her to move in. You're getting moved out. Wait,
Wait.
It's my house too.
I co-own the house. It's just and by the way, we're at the very top of the onion here. We haven't really peeled it.
No.
There's all kinds of problems here. Legal mess, relationship mess. I mean, it's just a mess.
But like many things, it looks good on paper. And you go, well, financially, this is a great move when it comes down to the numbers. But when people see this through these rose-colored glasses and then life happens, it gets real messy, and I think we're going to see a lot of relationships hurt by this as we try to figure out all the nuances of home ownership with someone that you don't have a real connection with.
So
legally.
the moral of the story is, please don't fall prey to this supposed good idea. This has just got all kinds of crazy risk attached to it. But, I mean, wow, extreme times.
It points back to what we're trying to do with this Borrowed Future documentary.
Yeah.
Help people get rid of their student loans so that they can live the American dream.
Yeah, and
which
buy
is
your own house. Yeah, I love it.
home ownership.
All right, let's get to the phones. 888-825-5225. Abby is joining us in San Francisco, California. How can we help?
Hey, Ken. Hey, George.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
So this is kind of based on the student loan thing as well, like you guys were talking about. So my partner took out loans to go to college, and her parents took out $175,000 in Parent Plus loans.
Ooh.
So if we get married, like combined, we'll be making a total of $240,000 a year. So I just wanted to preface by saying I don't have a problem combining finances, paying it fully off when we get married, even though it's Parent Plus. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, her parents are on income-based repayment, and they're hoping for loan forgiveness in 10 years, as her mom is a teacher. But like George already talked about everywhere, forgiveness chance is about like 2%.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what kind of conversation should I have about boundaries with my partner and her parents, like before we get married?
You are a wise man, Abby, for even having this level of maturity to go, I've got to have boundaries, I've got to have a hard conversation. And so is this a conversation that you and her need to have with her parents, or is this how do I have the conversation with her?
Both, I guess. I'm just lost as to how to have this conversation, because her parents have made it clear that they want to hope for forgiveness in 10 years, but it's only 2% chance. So like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to be able to convince the in-laws of much. That's a difficult thing to do, to give them financial advice. I've tried that. It did not go well. So I'm telling you from experience. What you can do is empower your wife and help her have this conversation with her parents to say, hey, listen, this was loans you took out for me, and we want to do an honorable thing and pay these off. We don't want you guys to have this on your shoulders and wait a decade as we grow into our adult life and still have these loans hanging around for the hope of forgiveness, which we've seen not moving at breakneck speeds, even with new legislation and new presidents. I just don't see a day where it gets much better than this. And so I think you're doing the wise thing by having the conversation, but I think you need to have it with her and not go directly to the in-laws or future in-laws.
So then if they're older, so they want to retire soon, I'm sure. So won't it come back down onto us later on anyway? Like, I'm just trying to understand.
You're saying, what do you do once you guys are married? What do you do then financially if you want to pay them off?
No, not that. Like, if our parents want to retire, right? They can't retire when they have this kind of loan where they have to pay income-based repayment plans. So, like, how would that affect us? Because it'll come back down onto us, will it not?
No, I mean, it's her parents took this out. And so what happens is when the student applies for a loan and can't get it, then it turns into the Parent Plus loan if the parent is willing to take it on solo. So normally a parent can co-sign for the loan, meaning, hey, you're both on the hook, and if Abby doesn't pay, then it goes to the parent. But in this case, the parent is fully on the hook. And so that's the scary part with these Parent Plus loans is the parents are trying to do the best thing for their kid and set them up, but then they can't retire. And so what happens is the kids then have to help the parents in retirement. And it really creates a bad situation. So you guys have a fantastic income, and I think it's really honorable that you're wanting to pay these loans off even though they're not in her name. And so I think if she has that conversation, maybe you sit down with her if they're willing to have it together, and you say, hey, listen, here's what we want to do. Once we're married, we want to tackle her loans, and we really appreciate what you guys have done to allow her to go to school, but we want to take these on and help get this thing out of our lives, and we don't want to wait a decade.
Yeah. And again, I think that having her be the one that cast this vision, because it's her parents, and tied it into their retirement and the way they want to finish out.
Not from the son-in-law.
Yeah, stay out of it.
But Parent Plus loans, huge, high interest rate. I don't want you waiting 10 years and then nothing happens.
Yeah, and run the numbers. Show them the numbers of how it's going to actually turn out. Good stuff, George. Thank you for the call, Avi. All right, don't move, folks. More of your calls right around the corner. This is The Ramsey Show.
Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless.
Ramsey Show continues. Thrilled to have you with us. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, none other than George Camel, and we are taking your calls, 888-825-5225. I got to tell you something I've never told you before.
Oh, boy.
I really enjoy saying your last name.
Wow, that means a lot.
Yeah, Camel.
Thank you.
By the way, tell people how it's spelled if they're new to you.
It's with a K, K-A-M-E-L, like the animal. And I will say, Ken, I do have a Middle Eastern background. That's a shock to a lot of people based on my complexion. So
you said that.
I just came back from Cabo after a week. And
you did?
I don't think I'm even 1% tanner.
Did you soak in 75 sunscreen?
Well, it was about 100 degrees in full sun. I didn't want to come back crispy, you know?
Okay.
I burn easily.
Do you tan?
No.
So you have a very light complexion, and that's just your deal, and you're going with it.
That's just my deal.
It's fantastic. Hey, if you aren't strapped with student loan payments, odds are you know someone who has millions are putting their lives on hold. They can't buy a house or have kids because they're stuck. Or even worse, they're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the government to save them with student loan forgiveness, which, by the way, is a total joke. Our team has produced a new documentary called Borrowed Future, and it's out now. It uncovers the dark side of the student loan industry and exposes how the system is built to work against you. You'll see Dave Ramsey weigh in on the epic failure, otherwise known as the student loan program, along with featured interviews from industry insiders. We're coming at this crisis hard, folks. We're taking big swings at the student loan problem with the goal to arm parents and students across the country with the truth, which is you do not have to take out loans to get a college education. You can graduate debt-free and avoid the predatory student loan industry. Borrowed Future is available for streaming now. Go watch on Apple TV, Amazon Prime Video, Google Play, or go to the website borrowedfuture.com. That's borrowedfuture.com. You're excited about this because you kind of were involved in the precursor.
Yes,
with the podcast.
And a lot of the stories started there, and you'll hear some of that. But I'm just so passionate about this topic as we dug into it. This was 2 years ago, and we just did a bonus episode for the podcast. And surprisingly, not much has changed in the student world, the student loan world, Ken. In 2 years, forgiveness hasn't budged much. The legislation hasn't budged much. A few of the players in the game, like Navient, they're getting out. But it still doesn't give me a ton of hope. I still would say, stay away. Don't recommend.
100%, because I will tell you right now, I don't mind saying this. I think that whole forgiveness language and conversation is a carrot to get more people to jump in.
Yep.
Well, they're going to forgive it, so this is free money.
And waiting 10
Watch
years
the
for something?
documentary.
If you said, hey, you can have it, but you need to wait 10 years. Tell that to an 18-year-old, a 22-year-old. That's a lifetime.
Yeah, it really is. So it's a lifetime for me. My goodness.
No, thank you.
I'm just not interested. No. 888-825-5225 is the number. Let's go to Gainesville, Georgia. Incidentally, George, where I started my radio career.
Look at that.
WDUN was the radio station where I started out. So I love Gainesville, Georgia. Ashton joins us there. Ashton, how can we help?
Hey, I just wanted to say, first and foremost, I'm a huge fan. I've been listening since I was in high school.
Wow.
And I've been following for the past 5 years because I graduated 2016. Has been doing my Dave-ish plan, and I have recently just come to realize that Dave-ish doesn't work, and it's all or nothing. And so with that, I have a huge question. I'm currently in baby step 2, and I'm also cash flowing my way through school. No student loans or anything, but I do have just shy of 20 grand in debt with a household income of right under 40K. I want to say it's like 39.5 is right about what I bring in.
What kind of debt is the 20 grand?
So 10.3 of it is a car loan, and then the rest of it is just multiple credit cards kind of spread out between different credit cards. And my big question with that is, do I need to put a hold on school to finish baby step 2, or do I finish cash flowing my way through in this degree that I started as I'm not even sure if this is the field I want to go in, or
okay.
I'm not sure where to go from here.
All right, so let's press pause on the money question, and because I think this is going to tie in. If you're not entirely sure, I want to know what percentage you would put on it right now. Is it 50-50? Is it 80-20, 70-30? As to how sure you are that this degree you're in right now is not the direction you want to go. Hit me straight.
As far as it's a business management degree that I'm working on right now. And as far as percentage-wise and everything like that goes, I'm looking at I'm like 70-30.
70-30, not pursuing that direction?
The 30% would be in the not, the 70 is in the end, as far as pursuing.
So he's leaning towards a yes.
Oh, you're okay. I confused myself here. You are leaning towards moving into business management type work.
Correct. It's really just with how broad of an umbrella the degree is and everything like that, I'm not sure where specifically in there I want to go. I do have about 14 months of management experience if shift leading counts as.
Hey, Ashton, I got to tell you right now, I would press pause on cash flowing to school and I'd crush the debt, because I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need a degree to get into business management. You already said you got 14 months of experience leading. You could go get a job, 2 jobs, increase your income, which gets you out of debt faster, and get in a situation where you're following somebody and there's an opportunity, there's a ladder there for you to step up into leadership. You don't need a degree to get into leadership. So I would press pause. There's just too much unknowns right now for you to be taking that valuable cash and cash flowing a super general degree.
For sure. The only reason that I have that experience, I've been working in the food business for a while and everything, and my fiance and I welcomed our son into the world back in 2019, and I jumped up the chain just a little bit, just to bring in a little extra money, but that jump forward put me in a bind on the family end. And everything,
schedule-wise?
It felt like it drove a wedge into that and everything. And so it was like I was doing my calling, but in the wrong area.
Okay,
and
great.
I don't know quite where that area is.
Okay, we're going to lock in. We're going to lock in right here. Ashton, you just led to it. You felt like you were doing your calling, but in the wrong place. I like to call that you're doing the right thing in the wrong place. I'm guessing the hours in the food service industry and all that was just crushing the relationship. I get that because you got a little one now. So is leading and managing people, that's what you love to do?
Yes.
Okay. So hold on a second.
Everything from developing to...
Hold on. I want you to focus on something very clearly. If you can lead people and manage people and develop people, help them win in the food industry, can you not do the same thing in other industries? Yes or no?
For sure.
For sure. I like that answer, George.
Confident.
All right, so George, so here's the deal, Ashton. I'm going to turn you over to George. I want you to press pause on this degree right now. I'm not saying don't go back and finish it, but I'm saying you can move up professionally even now because you've got leadership experience. He's got $20,000 to pay off, George.
Yeah, at this point, is your fiance working?
She is. She brings in about $1,400 a month.
$1,400 a month, and that's on top of the $40,000 that you're bringing in a year?
Correct.
Okay. Well, if either of you can get a second job, I want to tackle this thing. If you're going to pause school, then we need to go really hard at this debt. If you were going to continue school, I'd say, all right, well, continue through school, cash flow that, and then tackle this debt as soon as you graduate. But if we're pausing school, we've got to get rid of this debt. I mean, this is half of your income tied up in credit cards and car loans. Maybe see how much the car is worth.
Yeah.
If you can drive a beater for a while and get this debt payoff cut in half, I'm all for that.
And here's the deal. They're going to knock out the $20,000 pretty quick. School will still be there, okay? But this is the greatest priority, and I think it's going to put some attention on how I can get where I want to get minus the degree. And leading people, well, you don't have to have a degree to lead people. Come on, get after it, young man. Your future is waiting for you. Don't move. He is George Kamel. I'm Ken Coleman. You're listening to The Ramsey Show. If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at BethelTech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's BethelTech.net/Ken Coleman. Show continues. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague George Kamel, and we're taking your calls this hour, 888-825-5225. How many of you out there want to get a bigger shovel so you can fast forward the process of getting out of debt? We can help with that. That is a particular area of focus for me. George and I will team up on those. If you're feeling like, hey, I'm just not doing work that I enjoy at all, we're taking those calls. Of course, that's what I do on the Ken Coleman Show. And then George is going to answer your money questions. He's ready to go as always. And we love doing this. We are here because we really enjoy coaching you up. So let's go. 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. And in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, I see Jason and Stacy. Yep. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You guys are here to do a debt-free scream.
Yes,
we
sir.
are.
I love it. Where are you guys from?
Boonville, Indiana.
Okay, very nice. All right, give us the numbers. How much did you pay off?
We paid off $68,000.
Mm-hmm. How long?
About 3 years and 5 months.
3 years, 5 months. And what was your range of income?
$98,000 to about $110,000.
98 to 110. What do you guys do?
I'm a serviceman for water utility.
Okay, great. All
and
right.
I'm a third grade public school teacher.
Oh, okay. Very nice. But you have to have a lot of energy, don't you, to keep up with third graders?
For sure.
I love it. Okay, so what kind of debt was the $68,000?
We were super normal.
Mm-hmm.
We had credit cards, student loans, truck payment, car payment, 401k loan, medical bills, just a little bit of everything.
I think so. George, did she leave anything out?
That was like the potpourri of debt right there. Very impressive.
That is awesome. I love it. So what happened 3 years ago where you guys said, no, not doing this anymore. We're getting debt free?
Well, I had a really long day at school one day, and I needed to stop at Target and get some things for school the next day for a science experiment. And I just blindly grabbed some things, and I went through the checkout, and my debit card was declined.
Oh,
and
no.
I wasn't even mad. Of course, I didn't think it was my fault. I thought there's something wrong with this machine. And I just used my credit card and went to my car, and I thought, I'm going to pull up our accounts just to be sure that everything's fine. And all I saw was red, like everything was negative. He had no clue. I had no clue. And what really just got me was that we were in a normal time. We hadn't had any extra expenses or anything come up, and I just had no clue. And I thought, we are too far along in our career, and we work way too hard for us to have no money. Where is all of our money going? And so I just said, we have got to do something different.
Wow.
Yep.
So, Jason, what did she say to you, and how did you respond?
I don't even remember what it was. But, it was basically, we have no money.
Yeah.
And
were you
we gotta
surprised?
do something. Yes.
Yeah. And so at what point do you introduce Financial Peace University, the Ramsey Solution stuff? I mean, was it FPU? Was it the Total Money Makeover? What was the starting point?
Well, what's funny is I owned the Total Money Makeover, but I had never read it. I've read it multiple times since.
Yeah.
But a couple of our really good friends had the home study kit for FPU and had offered it to us. And so when I got home that night, I texted her and I said, "Please bring me this kit. We are ready." And we started the next night.
Okay. And I'm reading by the body language here, Jason, that you were all in. You weren't pushing back. You were like,
"Oh no, yeah, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it."
That's amazing. What's that feel like? Each of you comment on that when each of the spouse, you realize, hey, we're not fighting against each other on this. We're joining arms here.
Oh, that's a great feeling.
It made all the difference, really, because I was so upset with myself, and I feel like he easily could have been upset with me for having this hole that he really didn't even know about. But he definitely showed a lot of grace, and he kind of owned his part of, he kind of never paid attention to our finances. And so when I came to him and I said, I've been doing this on my own for a really long time, but obviously I'm not very good at it, and we need to do this together. And he agreed, and he said, "You're right."
So you guys went from problem unaware, you didn't even know you were broke, to solution focused real quick. You went 0 to 60. 3 years, 5 months ago. What made you guys just go, all right, game on, nothing's stopping us?
I think people look at us and have told us before, you don't really seem like the kind of people that are in debt. And we didn't think we were either. We're not fancy people, at all. And so, but when you list out your debt, one of my favorite podcasters says, you got to know where your fist is going to land when you're punching it in the face. And that's true. When you list out all your debt, and we totaled $68,000, we were blown away. And so we knew we had to get serious.
Wow.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. So what did you actually do? What were the tactical sacrifices you made to get rid of this debt in 3 years and 5 months?
Basically nothing extra. Nothing.
No frills.
Yeah, none at all.
We did so much budgeting, and I became really good at meal planning and freezer meal cooking, and we cut out all the fat, all the subscriptions. The pandemic helped. Nobody did anything. We didn't go anywhere. We both were very fortunate to have jobs that were very secure, all through that time. Right. And so we just used that time to kind of keep us rolling forward, and we just locked arms and put our head down and said, we're getting this done.
What kind of meals are we talking about? Did we have a lot of rice and beans, or did you get a little bit more creative?
We had a little bit of chicken and pork, and
there we go
with that rice
he's
and beans.
No vegan.
Hey, that's the key, is changing out the protein, George.
He's willing to sacrifice, but he's not going vegan.
I
get it.
Meat and potatoes.
I get it.
That's a sturdy man over there. He's not going to go vegan.
That's
George.
incredible.
Yeah.
And you guys got a raise along the way. What happened there with the increase?
Well, as a teacher, I don't get many raises,
right.
But he does. And then I also just side hustled like crazy.
Yep.
Tutoring, summer school. I sell Avon, pet sitting, dog sitting, house sitting. We just anything we could.
What was the most lucrative side gig?
I think teaching summer school, actually. There's not a lot of things that teachers can do for their hourly rate, but summer school is one of them. And so it's a lot of hard work. It's intense. It's a short amount of time. But it was good money for the work. So
you gave up a summer. That's sacrifice.
2 summers, actually.
2.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless our teachers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys have done it. So what would you say is the key to making it through this journey?
Well,
just helping each other. being there and being willing to work together.
I listen to that question asked a lot because I listen to the podcast all the time. And I always agree with everything that everyone says. And I would add to that consistency. You know, it's not just about budgeting or communication for 1 month or for 3 months or for 6 months. It's about the consistency for month after month, year after year. We still create a unique monthly written budget every single month. We just have a different relationship with money now, and so it just takes that consistency. And if we can do it, anyone can do it. We were Team Tiny Shovel, and we did it. So
awesome.
Anyone can do it.
You did it. And did you bring someone with you today?
We
for the
did.
screen? Who do we have?
We brought our son Wyatt. He does not really want to come up on stage.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, he'll be 14 next week. So.
You just explained everything.
Yes.
I totally now get it. My kids don't even want to be seen in the same zip code with me, much less a stage. So I get that. Well, hey, real quick, before you do your screen, we want to give you two things. One, the copy of Dave's latest book, The Legacy Journey. That's the next stage for you as you guys really build legacy. And so we want to give that to you. And also a copy of The Total Money Makeover for you to gift to somebody else. So we want to give you that as a gift and appreciation for sharing your story. All right, here we go. You guys ready to roll? Okay, we've got Jason and Stacy from Evansville, Indiana area. They paid off $68,000 in 3 years and 5 months, making $98,000 to $110,000. Jason and Stacy, take it away. Let's hear your debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yes, you are. I like that.
In perfect unison.
Very good phonetical, kind of strategy there, Jim.
Teachers are great communicators. I expect nothing less.
They are. You know what I love about this particular story, because, obviously we have a lot of couples. I love that, their story was they both realized at the same time, had no clue, but both also decided, come on, let's go.
Yes.
There wasn't any hanging on, any arguing, it was like, no, let's go do this.
It tells me there was a healthy marriage there to start, which
Very
is nice.
healthy, and even healthier now. That is really awesome stuff. Wow. That's why we do what we do, George.
I love it. Never gets old.
No, it does not. Tell you what else doesn't get old.
The show.
The Ramsey Show. Don't move. We're coming right back. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show, where we hope you get where you want to go in your money, in your work, in your relationships. We're helping you live the life that you want through practical steps. 888-825-5225 is the number. I'm Ken Coleman, and I'm joined this hour by my colleague, George Camel. We're thrilled that you have joined us. Blinds.com. Blinds.com. I don't know why I struggled to say that, George. 100% satisfaction guarantee means that even if you mismeasure or pick the wrong color, which I would mismeasure, George.
I'm that type too.
You and me both.
I'm no Chip Gaines.
Yeah, exactly. So this is why Blinds.com is where you want to go. They'll remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Make sure you use the promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Jessa in Michigan. I am a loan officer at a credit union, and I absolutely love my job. But I also am on the Dave Ramsey plan, and I have fell in love with teaching your concept to our members about getting out of debt. I feel like a hypocrite because basically my job involves me creating debt. Do you have any advice for us who are stuck in corporate America? I feel like I am not part of the solution to money issues, but have become part of the problem. What fields can I pursue so I can become a solution?
Well, it sounds to me like Jessa really enjoys the financial industry.
Yeah.
And so she's obviously, because she believes in what we teach at Ramsey Solution, there is a conflict there. Now, first we start with Jessa. You aren't part of the problem. You aren't a bad person. You are not doing anything that's unethical or illegal. However, I understand that the values disconnect. So if you love finances, the planning, the strategy, the numbers, and all that kind of stuff, and you want to help people win financially that doesn't involve debt, I'm looking at one of our SmartVestor pros. You know our system. I really want you to reach out to somebody in your area that's a SmartVestor pro and go, hey, Ken Coleman, I was listening to the Ramsey Show. They read my thing and told me to call you guys. I think about moving into your side of things because I want to help people win with money, not get weighed down with money. And I think coffee, lunch, a phone call to learn a little bit more about the investment side of things, financial planning, certainly financial coaching is an option. Working for an organization that has good products and services that better people's lives, and maybe you work in the finance side of that company. What I'm trying to say here is there's a whole lot of opportunities for you. You don't have to feel as though you are painted in the credit union corner.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of what you like to do in a lot of different places.
And she's saying she's a loan officer and she loves her job. And if you do that, I mean, we have our friends at Churchill Mortgage. They're helping people get mortgages the right way.
That's right.
So I think it's a great opportunity if you worked for, maybe you are a mortgage loan officer, you help people understand the right way to get into a house that isn't going to bury them. And so you go, hey, I want you to do this. There's a great way to do this. Here's the kind of down payment. Here's what kind of mortgage loan I would steer you to, and here's why. To where she can actually help people do it the Ramsey way and do it financially
That's
sound.
a very good point, George. She may be able to stay in the credit union if it's a perspective change. Don't push somebody to a bad product. But if you're getting pressure to push to a bad product, then
if she's making car loans all day, I get it.
Yeah.
But if you love the loan industry, I think mortgages might be something that she could get into where she could really help people.
Yeah, and really guide people to do it the right way. Really good stuff there. All right, let's get back to the phones. 888-825-5225. Robert joins us in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Robert, how can we help?
How you doing, all?
Well, we're having a blast. What's going on?
Every day is a good day. I just had a question. I have, where I work now, I make good money, and me and my wife are, pretty much not pretty much. We're debt-free except for our mortgage.
Okay.
And the problem is the company I'm working for basically, got rid of all the people that started the company, and then now the new owner is wanting me, because I'm outside sales, wanting me to do like things that I don't agree with, that to me, gouge our customers. Okay. And I don't agree with it.
Okay.
So they got rid of everyone else, and those people are starting a new company, and they want me to go there. Well, I'm leaving a six-figure job to go there and then start over. But I don't know if, my wife thinks it's she doesn't know if it's a good idea or not. But morally, I can't do it.
Right. Well, so
I'm not into that. That's not, because I'm in construction, just to kind of give you a little.
Yeah. Well, you're a good man, Robert. You're a good man. And you've got a decision before you, one way or the other. So you and your wife have got to sit down and go, okay, one way or the other, I can't keep doing this. I think the $1 million question for you, Robert, is how much longer can you do it? Are you at a point where you feel like each day that you stay here and you're asked to do something you don't agree with, it's like, could you last 30 days doing this? I don't think the answer is yes, but I want to know how long can you last until you find something else to step into if we don't take this startup opportunity?
Oh, I want to leave it today.
Can you do that financially?
I just can't do it. I have a lot of regular customers that, I'm charging them double what I did before.
Right.
And it's just not right. I mean,
okay, so
they're just making more money.
Right. So, but financially, you can't walk today. Did I hear you say that?
Yeah. My wife makes good money too.
So I think you could. You don't have any debt. You don't have any debt.
And we have 6 months of our reserve.
Yeah, well, I don't want you to necessarily use that. My question is, can you live off of your wife's salary for 30 days, 60 days?
Probably not.
Okay, so here's the deal. You're going to have to, you got to be a big boy. You got to be a grown up here. And so I think it comes down to doing your homework and finding out what would you make. Is it straight commission if you go with the startup, all these people you used to work with?
Yes.
Okay. So one way or the other, it's like you can't be without pay for 30 days. Well, for 60. I think you could do 30 is what it sounds like to me. So you're going to have to bite your lip, and you're not doing anything unethical. You may not like the way it feels, but until you can find something to replace what you're doing, and you should be able to, as good of a salesman as you are, you should be able to do it. Or the other question is how quickly talk to these guys that want you. Go, hey, let's be realistic, guys. I can't go 60 days without making money. How quickly am I going to be able to get up and running and actually sell some stuff? Have you had that conversation?
We've had that conversation, but at the same time, I've already got, at least 10 to 15 customers that said they'll go wherever I go.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me that.
That's different.
Okay.
I know. I'm getting into it.
Okay. No. I'm not getting on you. I'm just going, that's different information. I'd go tomorrow. Right. If the 10 to 15 are going to follow you, I'd go tomorrow, because now you can sleep well at night. You can live with yourself, and that's more than enough customers to get you going. Right?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Well, then it's a no-brainer.
It's just my wife is not all for it.
Well,
how do you convince her?
Is it because of the income dip?
From a six-figure salary to,
You don't think you can get back to six figures in no time?
I think so.
Well, you got to show her that. Robert, this is a safety issue. Your wife doesn't feel safe. You got to show her how. I know, but listen, but the good, that's good news and bad news. Bad news is your wife doesn't feel safe. The good news is all you have to address is her safety. So you got to sit down with her with a good old-fashioned piece of paper and pencil and go, with the 10 to 15 going with me over here, this is where I'm realistically going to be in the first 3 to 6 months. It's going to pinch us maybe a little bit, but we're no way near any kind of danger. And you show her how long it's going to take to get where it's going, and you have a conversation where she goes, oh, okay, I feel safe.
And a reminder, we've got 6 months in our emergency fund.
Yeah.
We have no consumer debt.
You're positioned.
We can do this.
You absolutely can do this. I would do that tomorrow. I'd do it today. End of business. If I talk to my wife first. I want the wife to feel safe. Sorry.
Smart man.
I did get a little excited about that.
How long have you been married, Ken?
23 years, which is why I amended what I said there. Talk to the wife, then submit the resignation. That's the order of that. Hey, good stuff, George. Thanks,
fun
man.
times.
Always fun. I want to thank our producer, James Childs, and our associate producer and call screener, Kelly Daniel. And we want to thank you, America. This is your show. It is The Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, this is James, senior producer for The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? And a lot of those people listen on one of our 600 plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, head to theramseyshow.com.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life, your money, your work, your relationships. It's all on the table. We want to help you. And the way we do it is just good old-fashioned conversation, coaching you up, giving you some practical steps to take that you can do, because it is up to you. And I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, fellow Ramsey personality, George Kamel, with a K, by the way, Kamel.
Thank you for that, Ken.
Yeah,
Can I just say, I always appreciate when you call me a colleague. It just feels, I feel very, my back straightens up.
Yeah.
I have better posture.
You know why that is?
Why is that?
Because you're a millennial.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm an Xer, and I think colleague is a term that you are only vaguely familiar with. So when I say it, it has a little extra punch to it, although it just means coworker.
It feels old-timey in a good way.
It is. I'm a little bit of an old soul. Kelly's looking at me like she's irritated. Should I retire colleague? No.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you're irritated at George. Thank you very much. Okay, because I feel like colleague is not...
Two Xers mad at a millennial. This is too classic, guys. Come on.
Yes. And Kelly and I are almost like exactly the same age.
I would have thought Kelly was
like
much
almost,
younger.
Well,
way younger.
Nice move, George. Well played.
I'm mostly just
sir.
scared of Kelly, so just trying to earn the brownie points where I can.
As you should. All right, let's get to the phones. Hazard, Kentucky. Oh, that's cool. Josh is on the line in Hazard. Well, I love saying this. In Hazard, Josh is there. Josh, how can we help?
Yes, I'm actually currently in baby step 2. Me and my wife, we make around $80,000 a year. Right before I started the baby steps, we bought a property which was adjoining a development area, which was adventure tourism in my area, because we're really, it's a rural area. Long story short, it took off very well. This, and the county government has actually got a grant for their side of the adventure tourism for like $1.5 million, and they're making a lodge. And right now, like I said, I'm on baby step 2. We're working the plan. We're just kind of, my first cabin I built, I ended up doing some rentals there. Kind of want to see where I need to go, if it should be right to build another cabin now or wait till we get finished. The bank is actually, I spoke with them, they're open with doing another one, but I understand, it's hard to get out of a hole with a very small shovel at the same time if you're digging deeper.
So you are taking out loans to build these cabins?
Yes, it was before we started any type of baby steps or anything.
And you're saying, hey, should I go build another cabin if it's going to mean taking out another loan?
Yes, that's the only thing. I don't really want to go through with that, but at the same time, like I've turned away like 30 people the last month for bookings on my cabin rental.
So you're seeing the dollar signs going, man, I got to get another cabin ASAP. I can make some money.
Yeah.
How much debt do you have?
Minus my mortgage and the vacation rental, I've got about $40,000.
40 in consumer debt?
Yeah, it's a couple cars and then a personal loan and 1 credit card.
Okay. And what do you have any business debt?
Yes, for the land, the property we bought in the cabin, it was we owe about $58,000, I think, on that.
How much
are
you?
Home, I owe about $80,000.
How much are you clearing, Josh, on this one cabin rental that's just hot?
I'm clearing right $1,000 a month on it. So
yeah,
that's not there.
Yeah, but I mean, you haven't gotten into any repairs. That $1,000 a month, that's not a whole lot when you think about upkeep and stuff like that.
That's
correct?
$12,000 a year. So it's not a money making scheme.
Yeah.
So the answer is no, you're not going to go into debt for another one. You're not even making enough money to get that excited. I mean, I understand it's kind of nice to see it all booking up and stuff like that, but the reality is you're clearing right now. And when I ask you clearing, I mean, are you working in expenses to that, like upkeep and repairs?
Yeah.
Okay, but even at that, $12,000 a year. I mean,
and you've got almost $100,000 in debt from your consumer debt plus the business debt, and this is outside of the rental, correct? In your home?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Well, that just the consumer debt, which I'm not adding in, the home and the business debt, about $40,000.
Yeah. It's just, I think you're doing a lot of different things right now, and I think it's going to, if it's not already adding stress to your life, which I assume you wouldn't be calling in if it wasn't creating some level of anxiety going, all right, we've got a lot of things going on here. So what I would recommend you do, the business debt, I mean, you signed your personal name on that debt, right?
Yeah, well, yes, it was through the business when I bought it, but it's my personal name. I'm the owner of the business.
So anything that's not real estate, I would go ahead and put in baby step 2 in this debt snowball and list it out from smallest to largest. Do you have any cash right now, just straight up in the savings?
Just my emergency fund for my business, which is around $1,000, and then I have an emergency fund for my personal, like in baby step 2, is $1,000.
Okay, so you're in baby step 2 now. We're gonna use the debt snowball. So what I want you to do is list out all of your debts that aren't real estate, and list them out from smallest to largest, regardless of the interest rate. And I want you to start attacking that with a vengeance. With every dollar you can get coming in, we're not buying anything. We're not swiping the credit card anymore. We're not buying cars. If you can sell some of those cars and make a profit off of it, I would do that as well. Are they in good shape? Could you get some money for those cars and clear some of this debt?
It would be close. I might be able to. It'd be very, very close.
I'd look into it right now because I'm seeing some crazy things with this car market where people are getting way over the value that would have been 18 months ago. So if that can speed up this journey for you, I want you to clear this $100,000 of debt and be in a really good spot for you to eventually start building more cabins with cash.
All right, and that's kind of the way I felt too, but it felt good to
hear it from somebody else.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Josh. And here's the deal. You can knock this out. And once you knock this personal debt out, knock that cabin out, now all of a sudden you've got some real wealth building opportunity here, and then expand that business, because clearly it's working. And so that's a positive asset in the sense that, okay, we've got something to build off of, but don't take the temptation to take on more debt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good move. But he's got some good things going on. But again, when I hear credit cards and the cars and personal loans, it feels like things are out of whack right now. We've got to clean up the mess before we can focus on growing the business.
George, I was going to ask you this. Are you sensing, because I know you look into consumer stuff as well, are you sensing any trend here on, are we going to see used car cost kind of slow down? Feels like they're pretty high, a premium right now. Is that going to change anytime soon? Are you reading anything?
My prediction is in 2022, we're going to see things level out a little bit. We're not going to see this craziness where used cars are going for 30% more than they would have 18 months ago. As the supply chain starts to fix itself and we see more new cars in the market, the used cars will get a little less attractive. And so right now, if you've got car debt, now's the time to look into some of these sites like Vroom and Carvana, CarMax, dealerships, even Facebook Marketplace. I've been hearing crazy stories of people listing their car on Facebook Marketplace, and dealers from different states are contacting them, and they're legit, and they're saying, we'll give you way over your offer.
So you're saying to go to a car dealer, which is traditionally an awful idea because they give you way less than the Kelley Blue
and
Book.
listing on Facebook Marketplace, and the dealer reaches out to you.
So you're getting Kelley Blue Book value from car dealers?
Oh, yeah, even more.
Oh.
They're desperate out there.
This is why.
Crazy times.
This is why
I'm
he
a
is
nerd,
the consumer's friend right
I'm
here.
a nerd.
Good stuff. Hey, don't move. More of your calls coming up. He's George Campbell. I'm Ken Coleman, and this is The Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
Welcome back, America. You are joining the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by George Campbell as we take your questions this hour. 888-825-5225. The number to jump in is 888-825-5225. Now, of course, we take your calls, but we also get a show this large, a tremendous amount of social media questions. And I should mention, if you want to follow George and I on the gram, as the kids call it, Instagram. Do kids call it that?
I don't think kids call it that, but I'll give it to you.
I did that. I knew I was going to walk into that.
Anytime you say, as the kids call it, just know it's not what they call it.
Well, I slipped into dad mode there, George, because I have 3 teenagers, and I do that. And recently the team got me on TikTok.
Oh, that's right.
And I don't do anything over there. So this is not like go follow me over there, because the team does it, and we're kind of dabbling into some content there.
You're not doing dance challenges. Don't get excited.
We had a post that went kind of nuts, and I came home that day and I told my kids, hey, so Dad's pretty big on the talk. And, dude, they were so irritated with, just like you are right now, that I called it the talk. But it's not the gram either.
No.
It's Instagram.
Yeah.
At George Campbell.
At George Campbell with a K, and at Ken Coleman.
Yeah.
Also with a K.
With a K.
Coleman with a C.
Thank you, George.
You've
just confused everybody.
Yeah, we got a lot. Ramsey has a lot. I don't have many fans, but the Ramsey brand.
We get a lot of social media questions, and we love them. And you've got a very interesting one right now.
Yes, we've got a great question from Joel on Facebook, and here's what Joel asked. I got hit in the T-Mobile data breach earlier this year, and I keep getting weird voicemails and texts from random companies. Should I be worried about ID theft? That's a great question. Ken, if you didn't hear about this, back in August, T-Mobile had a data breach that affected almost 50 million customers.
I think I remember seeing a headline.
Yeah, so this is scary stuff. A lot of data breaches out there. At some point in your life, you're going to be a part of a data breach. I mean, a lot of major companies
that's very scary. Really?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Let me explain to you, and this will answer Joel's question. A data breach is different from identity theft. So a data breach just means that your information was exposed. So there was a security breach and your personal confidential information is out there. Someone may have access to maybe your birthday, your email address, maybe your social security number, your street address, things like that. But it doesn't turn into identity theft until someone actually uses that private information for their financial gain. And I experienced identity theft.
Did you?
I had someone opened up an AT&T account, a Verizon account under my name using my Nashville address, but they did it in Boston with my social security number and racked up $1,700 on both.
When was this?
This was back in 2014.
Was it, did they at least when they stole your identity, were they like a 6'5" muscular
I was hoping.
person?
I don't know if they ever found the person, but here's the thing. It was very scary because you go, this person has my very personal information. They used it against me to create this debt in my name.
That's crazy.
Obviously, I didn't have to pay it, but they racked up $1,700 on both accounts. And the good news is I was working at Ramsey at the time. I had ID theft protection through Xander. Dave gets that for all the employees. But here's some things that Joel can do, because I think it's a legitimate worry to have. I don't want you to get paranoid about identity theft. You can sleep easy at night, but here's some things that you can do. Number one is check your credit report. What's really interesting right now is the bureaus are offering free weekly reports through April 20th, 2022. Normally, you can access them once a year for free. Right now, they're doing it weekly through 2022, April 20th, 2022, thanks to COVID. So that's one thing you can do. Check for any suspicious activity there. Another thing you can do, and I did this after identity theft, is freeze your credit. So call up, contact the 3 credit bureaus, and make sure you freeze your credit. That's Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. What that means is no one's going to be able to open up an account because it's frozen. You might have to lift it temporarily if you're applying for an apartment and there's a hard inquiry, if you need to do a check like that. Another thing you can do, beef up your password game, right? Most of us, we can't remember our passwords. We use the same one on everything.
Oops.
And that's a dangerous move.
Is it?
Because if they get your password for your T-Mobile account, that might be the same one for your email. And now they access a whole web of things. And so make sure you're using strong passwords. Use a password manager. James Childs, our producer, loves a good password manager. That's another thing you can do. He does.
He strikes me as
big
somebody...
privacy nerd.
Yeah.
Another thing, have you heard of this? 2-factor authentication.
Is that the deal where
don't guess? This is
you have to get a cell phone number?
Well, yeah, so you can do different things.
See, smarty pants, I actually knew a little something.
You've got a password, but you also have to verify it through maybe a text message or opening up a smartphone app or a physical security key. So those are all great things. But the number one thing I tell you to do to sleep easy is just get identity theft protection. It's super cheap. For an individual, it's the cost of a latte. And for a family, it's the cost of a pizza per month to stay protected. And what this does, I didn't know this. Xander does all the work for me.
They do.
And so they're 24/7, 365 support, and they will cover up to $1 million for stolen funds and expenses. And there's proactive monitoring and alerts. So I love this. I sleep easy at night now. I haven't had identity theft since. And I do these other things. I freeze my credit, I make sure my passwords are strong, and I use 2-factor authentication so that in case of a breach, it doesn't create identity theft.
Yeah, I got to tell you, George, I feel much better. Because when you started off on this whole deal about data breach, I thought somebody was going to break into the studio because some guys in some black suits and, the aviator glasses. It sounds very, very scary. But I do recall that each month, I'm not a fan of email, but I do get an email from Xander, and I click on it, and it tells me. And
they'll let you know, hey, your email was compromised. Go change your password here. And I go, oh, thank you, Xander. I would have had no idea.
Yeah.
So it's a great feature, and there's a lot of things you can do to protect yourself. Don't freak out, Joel, but make sure that you're doing these things.
Yeah, good stuff. Good question. Thanks, George. Good stuff there. Megan is up now in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Megan, how can we help?
Hi. I am so honored to talk to you guys.
Well, thank you. What's going on?
All right. So my husband has been employed for 20 years with the same company, longer than we've been married, actually. And his employer is implementing a surcharge on insurance costs for those who are not receiving the COVID shot, which we definitely do not want.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to figure out we don't know how much the surcharge is going to be. And we're just looking for some guidance as to where to go from here, if we should just kind of wait this out, or if he should maybe just start looking a little bit to see what else is out there in case it gets, you know.
Let me ask you this. If this wasn't coming down the pike, would he be thinking about moving on?
No, he really likes what he does.
Yeah. I'm going to try to not get involved in this emotionally and help you walk through this. Because on one hand, you guys don't want to get it. You don't want to get the shot. And on the other hand, you don't want to, get hit really hard and take on an expense like this. And he wasn't thinking about looking prior to this. So this really puts you in a tough situation. But I think this comes down to your priorities. And, I think at the end of the day, they need to tell you what the cost is going to be, and then you weigh the cost, literally weigh the cost. Okay, in order to stay in this job that he really enjoys, there's going to be an added monthly expense now that I'm getting hit with. How long is that going to last? We don't know the answer to that. Is it going to be forever? Who knows? I think you have to weigh that. While you're weighing that and waiting for that information, I would be looking, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there's two pieces of this. There's the ethical component of, do I want to work for a place that has these values? And if overall he agrees with them ethically and he goes, all right, this is something I got to deal with, and it basically, turns into a $200 pay cut, right? If it's $10, $15 a month. Now, I can't imagine it's anything large. They're not going to charge you $100 a month.
I would hope not.
But then you weigh it and go, all right, am I willing to take this little pay cut to stay at a job that I truly love, and this is just an annoyance that I'm going to deal with as part of it. But if you're like, hey, I can't agree with them ethically anymore, I've got to leave, that's your decision that you have to make.
Yeah, I think this is tough. And I got to tell you, now that I think about it, George, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a hefty bump, because I'm going to tell you what this amounts to. This is a penalty. And companies are saying, we think everybody should be vaccinated, and we're telling you that you need to, because I think Delta Airlines came out. They were the first, I think, major company for this kind of thing. It was like, hey, we're going to hit you with a premium on your health care because of all the implications they're saying.
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to a penalty. And I don't know. It may not be insignificant. It may be a significant number. And in that case, unfortunately,
turns into a budget line item.
Your values and your money are driving this decision. And if you got to move on, you got to move on. Hey, don't move on, because we've got more of your calls coming up. This is The Ramsey Show.
What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings.
Welcome back, America. You are joining The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, George Camel, and we're here for you this hour. It is a free phone call, 888-825-5225. And George, this is it's our favorite part of the show. Looking out there in the Ramsey Solutions lobby on the debt-free stage, I see Brandon and Michaela. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, where are you guys from?
We're from Paducah, Kentucky.
Paducah, Kentucky. All right. And if you're on that stage, that means you're here for a debt-free screen.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. How much debt did you pay off?
We paid off $25,500,
And then we also had a baby in the middle of that.
Whoa! Congratulations.
Thank you.
How old is the baby now?
She's 6 months old.
6 months. Are you sleeping?
Actually, yeah, she sleeps really well.
She sleeps. That
really
means you
well.
sleep. That's
right.
fantastic. Okay, so $25,500. How long did it take?
10 months.
10 months. And what was the range of income?
It started at $100,000, and then it's up to $115,000.
Oh, all right. Tell me about that. What did we do to get there?
Well, actually, it was just a raise through my work.
Good.
About halfway through this year.
Great. What do you do?
I'm a manager at a HVAC supply house.
Nice. And Michaela?
I work at a CPA office.
Oh, nice. Okay, fantastic. So great income here. And what kind of debt was the $25,500?
Everything. It was car loans, student loans, credit card. We financed some flooring, some carpet. Everything, really.
Okay, all right. Are you happy with the flooring choice?
I love it. I love it.
It's paid for now.
That's right. It's paid for, so I hope you're happy. Probably feels a little bit better to walk on.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Okay, so 10 months ago, did you know about Ramsey Solutions, Financial Peace, the Total Money Makeover? What led you to start this journey?
You can take it.
Okay. So I had actually known about Dave Ramsey for a while. I had done FPU probably 2 or 3 times, and I knew how it worked. I just never did it. Never really, I guess, was motivated to do it. And I guess it was towards the end of December of last year, we were like, okay, we're really going to do this. So we downloaded the Every Dollar app, and we started doing it for real. And
then we got pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that? Because you'd already started it, then you find out you're pregnant. Well, did that intensify it?
We found out we were pregnant in August. And then we started in January.
Oh, I'm with you. I got you.
Yeah.
Do you think that may have been the domino that tipped it?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a big factor.
Yeah.
Just to be prepared for when she was here.
Yeah, sure.
So what were the things you guys did? Because that's a pretty big chunk, even of your income, in 10 months to pay off. Were there some sacrifices? Did you sell anything, get extra jobs?
Well, I mean, we sacrificed eating out, which we love to do.
Yeah, come on.
We did sell an older vehicle that we had for... was it $5,000? But everything else was just hard at it.
Just get after it.
Just getting after it.
What was maybe one of the most difficult things to kind of say no to, or maybe one of the most difficult things to do in the middle of this journey?
You want to answer that?
Nope, you can.
Oh, jeez.
You guys are so polite. I feel like you guys need paddles.
Not really.
So you guys can determine who's going next. I like that. Yeah.
I would say the hardest thing was probably, we had friends that, like, hey, you want to go do this? You want to go do that? We're going to go here. It's like, no, man, we can't do that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
I get that.
So did you have cheerleaders? Were they cheering you on, or did they think you were weirdos for doing this thing?
Weirdos.
Crazy.
Yeah, weirdos. Actually, our biggest cheerleader was my younger brother, which we kind of got into this, and we gave him our older, what book was it? Financial Peace? Mm-hmm. Oh, Total Money Makeover, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And he was kind of hesitant at first, and he got really into it, and he was cheering for us the whole time. So now he's doing it. So
that's incredible.
I love that.
What would you tell people is the key to winning this?
Waking up every day and making the decision of I'm going to choose to be debt free. I'm going to choose to not live like I did before.
Yeah.
And consistency.
Yep.
Oh,
and communication.
That's a theme
100%.
right here. Consistency and communication. I love that. Wake up every day and choose to be debt free. It's a daily decision. You can't just decide once and then keep living your life the way you were living. You've got to make some changes, change some habits, make some sacrifices like you guys did. Absolutely incredible. So how does it feel now?
Wonderful.
Amazing.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, you could see it. So how has it changed? You're a young couple. How has it changed your outlook on the future now on the other side of this? You're now debt free. What's it done for your vision, for the things you're dreaming about?
I mean, it's kind of nice to wake up in the morning and not on Fridays when we get paid, it's like, okay, we get to keep this. Yeah. It's not like it's going everywhere else. And now that we've got a little girl that, she gets to grow up and we get to raise her in the way that we've now been taught. And it's just endless opportunities, really.
Yeah. And now you can eat out again. What's the spot?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
When you became debt free, where'd you go? What was the meal?
We haven't had it yet.
Yeah, we're planning on doing that this weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah. Okay, so really, seriously, you've not been out to eat in 10 months?
Not really.
Are you guys going to stay over, or are you going back to Paducah?
We're here for the weekend, so we're going to eat as much as we can.
George, I feel like during the break you should go give him some suggestions.
Oh,
you're Mr. Millennial, no kids.
This is my Super Bowl.
Nashville eateries, George.
Please do.
They haven't been inside of a restaurant for 10 years, 10 months, Ken.
I
got
to
feel like 10 years.
Like George is so fired up. He's going to give you so many great suggestions.
I might leave now.
Please do.
Now we got to get to the scream first. That's the best part.
Well, absolutely. So, wow. What a great story. Well, hey, a couple things before we get to the screen. We want to give you a copy of Dave Ramsey's The Legacy Journey, because this really is now the next step for you guys. Truly building a legacy, not with just that beautiful little princess, but in everything you do, who you give to, and how you spend that money. So we want to give that to you. And then I love that you gave a total money makeover to your brother, because we're going to give you a brand new copy to give to somebody else. And so that is our gift, and we want to give that to you. So that is just really good stuff. You guys are a great couple.
Thank you.
You guys are heroes, and this is why we do what we do. We're ready to celebrate. You guys ready to go?
Ready.
Yes. Ready to go. Okay, here we go. Brandon and Michaela from Paducah, Kentucky. They paid off $25,500 in 10 months, making $100,000 up to $115,000. Brandon, Michaela, take it away.
Ready?
Do your debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Yes! There it is.
That's how it's done.
Huh? How about that couple?
Look at that. Her face has changed. Just giant smile. Plaster on the face.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, they've done their debt-free scream. I'm not sure what is leading to the big smiles the most. Is it they're debt-free because they've been debt-free for obviously a little bit to get here, or is it the excitement about the restaurant suggestions you're going to give them?
It's the upcoming meal, Ken. Nashville's got a lot of great food. They're in the right place, and they're in the right hands.
But, we're having fun with that, but that seems like a little sacrifice, but it's not.
Dangling that little carrot is really powerful to go, hey, what do we want to do once we're debt-free? What kind of things do we want to do again or for the first time? And it's one of those things where you go, we don't have to think about it. It's in the budget. We're going to pay cash for it. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
But instead of wondering, do we have the money? Am I going to put this on the credit card?
Yeah. But speak to this, George. You coach people on this. I mean, you start racking up things like, I'm not going to go out to eat. We're going to, do this, and this. All those things together add up to where you can pay off $25,000 in 10 months, that's a lot of money in 10 months.
And what happens is you go, we're going to make a temporary sacrifice for a long-term gain. When you have that kind of mindset, it changes everything. Most people go, I'm just going to keep living this way for the next 20 years, and I'll worry about it down the road. They keep kicking the can down the road, and one day they realize, hopefully, they're broke. And they're miserable. And they're living with anxiety, and they can't reach their dreams and buy homes and go on vacations. And it's all because of that. And so I love meeting couples like this who decide, and not only decide, but wake up every day deciding that it doesn't have to be this way. And we're going to dangle this carrot, this goal in front of us of debt freedom and all the things that comes with that so that we can power through and pay this off.
I love it. All right, George, I want to know. You go 10 months without eating out. Where do you go? What kind of meal? Just tell me the meal.
I think it's got to be a high-quality meat. I'm probably going ribeye.
Okay.
That's just me.
Yeah. I asked you.
Maybe a big old pork chop.
Okay. What's your side?
I'm going to go with mashed potatoes.
Really?
Maybe some asparagus.
I'm a little shocked that you chose mashed potatoes.
It's creamy. It's buttery. It's filling.
Oh, I love it. I got to tell you, if I go 10 months without a meal, I'm going to have to work in some amazing seafood, George.
Maybe
a surf and turf. A little bit of maybe a filet and a giant lobster.
This is helping my decisions for this couple.
There it is, folks. This is what you come here for. Hey, don't move. It's not done yet. More of your calls, more breakthrough coming up. This is The Ramsey Show. Ramsey Show continues. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, George Camel. So thrilled that you've joined us today. 888-825-5225 as we talk about your life. All Our scripture of the day is Matthew 7:13 through 14. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate, and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Today's quote comes from John Maxwell. The secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. Good stuff there. Amarillo, Texas is where we go now, and Chancellor joins us on the line there. Chancellor, how can we help?
Hey, yes, sir. Thanks, guys, for taking my phone call.
You bet.
Hey, so kind of crazy here. I am at a point now to where my wife and I were completely out of debt, and we did the baby steps, and we got Gazelle Intense, and seems as if the Gazelle intensity has kind of taken over our lives. We don't really know where to go from here, and it's not a bad situation by any means. You know, we have a nice savings account, 15% going to our retirement, and we got our kids' college funds on the way. We're building them. However, we still have an influx of money, and we don't know what to do now.
So you've got leftover cash after 4 and 5, and you're wondering, what do we do with it?
Yes, sir.
How much money are we talking?
Right now we have about $56,000 in cash.
That's on top of your emergency fund?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm sorry. 41,000. We have 56,000 total.
Okay. 41,000 is your emergency fund?
15,000.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we got 15 in the emergency fund. What's outside of the emergency fund in cash?
$41,000.
Okay, there we go. All right, now we're cooking with gas. So you've got baby step 6, paying off the house early, and you're saying, hey, we've been going real hard. Is it okay for us to slow down and enjoy our lives?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess my fear is, with college tuition being so expensive, I just don't know how much, what's the cap, where to stop. I mean, really, right, yeah. I mean, my kids are my biggest
How old are these
worry
kids?
At this point. Well, I have a 9-year-old stepson, and I have a 1-year-old daughter.
Okay, we've got 17 years till college, and we've got another 9 years till college. You got plenty of time. You guys have done really well. I'm not super worried about them being able to afford going to college debt-free with the way you guys have handled your finances. Is that what you're worried about? Will we be able to afford it?
Yeah, I am worried about that. I am. But more or less, I would like my kids, I'm 27 years old. My wife's 29, but I fear every day that I just don't want my kids needing anything ever.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, I mean, you're a great dad for wanting that, but I don't want you living in this fear. You said I'm living in fear every day. And that borders on paranoia at that point. And so I want you guys have done so well. You've worked so hard. You have $41,000 sitting there in liquid cash. So have some fun. Have you guys been on a vacation?
Well, we do. We do enjoy our vacations. We do. We go on about 2 a year.
Chancellor, can I speak to you as a dad of 3? I totally understand your heart that you don't want your kids to want for anything. But the way that sounds is if you have the pressure that you've put on yourself to fund their entire life. The way you said it sounded way more than college. And George has already made it clear you're going to be fine on college fund, and you just keep doing what we teach there, and they're going to be fine. They're going to have plenty. But this idea that I don't want my kids to want for anything, I completely understand that. Believe me, I understand you. But your job is not to fund their life. They have a role that they were created to fill. There's work they want to do. There's dreams that they have. That's on them to do that. It's not on you to fund their entire life.
Okay.
You needed to hear that, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
You're a good dude. Look, the baby steps are the baby steps. You're doing it, man. Keep walking it out. relax outside of that. Your kids are going to make their own decisions. Your job is not to, now look, if you want to do a mutual fund and something for them down the road and give them a great start and whatever and put some nice strings on all that, that's all good. But again, I feel this heavy weight on you that needs to be released today.
Okay, so I guess that leads me into my next question. What could I start doing? You know, like I have a really good job. I can't complain about my job. However, I don't absolutely love my job.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I have this dream of, you know, working for myself.
Great. Tell me what that would be. Yeah. I don't care how pretty it sounds and how great of a business plan you have. Tell me what right now in this very moment you would do for yourself if you knew you couldn't fail. What kind of business? What would you do?
And honestly, I think I would do landscaping.
It's fantastic.
I truly love landscaping. I've done it. I did it. Okay.
Now listen, Chancellor, you're in a position, man, where you can start to plan this out and start this thing on the side with no risk. How much money do you make in your current job?
Well, it's a little bit. It fluctuates quite a bit, but I'd say between 130 and 150.
All right, so let's just pick 150 as a number you would want to replace. And if I promised you that you could make 150 today running your own landscaping business, how quickly would you resign?
Right now.
That's it, my man. So here's the deal. What is it going to take for you to eventually start that business and take care of your family in that business? Well, there's a couple ways you could do this. You could keep busting it the way you're busting it. You got some money right here, George. He's got some money that can begin to be the seed for starting that landscaping business. And maybe you do it on the side and you hire a couple young guys and you're the face of it and you build this thing up, you build it up and you get enough money in that landscaping business account that you've got 6 months of your salary there. And you know, if I just go at this full time, I've got the pipeline full, I can go. This becomes a math equation. That's right. Start today. Start pursuing today by planning and thinking through, how would I do it? What's the best way to do it? Save it all up and step into it, or start it on the side and establish it? I really like starting it on the side and establishing it, by the way. And Chancellor, you can do that now. Can you not?
Yes, sir. I actually, I have about 10 yards a week I do right now.
Oh, look at that. I had a sneaky suspicion, George, that he was already dabbling.
My yard's next, man. I'm so glad people have the passion for landscaping, Ken, because I have zero.
Yeah.
So, listen, man, you have done so well. You're 27 years old. You make $150,000.
Yeah.
You're in baby step 6. You have a pile of cash. You need to let go of this fear and start getting excited about your life again. Your kids are going to be fine. You need to start dreaming and really going after this thing like Ken's talking about.
Yeah, and you've got it. Chancellor, those 10 yards, every nickel that you make, or rather keep after you pay for the lawn care equipment and all the things in gas, right? That's just going in that side account. And I'm building that side account up. And I'm building it, and I'm building it, and I'm building it. And I'm trying to figure out, can I put 6 months of my salary, what I currently make, in that account? And I'm building up the clients, and I'm going, I know that I can blow this thing wide open. And there's no risk here, George. We talk about stepping from the boat right on the dock. Yeah. That's what this side hustle is. And then he's going to be in such great financial shape that he doesn't have the pressure that a lot of entrepreneurs face.
It's amazing how many times people get their financial life in order and then they can focus on purpose and career. It's incredible.
Yeah. If only we had somebody here at Ramsey Solutions that could help him figure out that dream.
Cough.
Oh, wait a second. Wait, we can do that. Fun stuff. Hey, I want to thank you, George. We had a great time today.
We did.
Fun stuff, man. Great job. Always great to be with you. I want to thank our amazing producer, James Childs, and equally amazing associate producer and call screener, Kelly Daniel. Mostly we want to thank you, America, for listening, because we do this for you. This is your show. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free screen live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.